litres of crop than wheat does. Which the knock-on from that is it's a better food source, or it's a better choice for food if you're feeding pigs or chickens, because you get more of it. And there's a similar thing with canola, sunflowers, soybeans for pigs. You probably don't want to feed them soybeans, because the soybeans are generally more valuable than the other two. Sunflowers, I have done sunflowers, but in this situation it looks like canola is the least valuable of the three. But then again, that could be down to canola is at its lowest sell. Sunflowers are about mid. Soybeans, oh, it's the best day to sell soybeans. We don't grow them. But you know, that explains the fluctuation there. But if you look at the highest average for each of these, one of these is generally going to be worth less, and I think it's sunflowers. So your better choice for if you're doing a pig farm is barley and sunflowers, just because you will yield more when you harvest those fields. But yeah, most people look at it, and I think when I first started Farm Sim 17, I looked at it and said, oh, why would I want to grow barley? Because it's less valuable, and it feels like it produces about the same. But in reality, there is a very, very, very slight difference. And so, as a food choice, it's the thing you do. I've never really gone all out on a pig farm. I've done cattle. Law Folds was predominantly a cattle farm. Although I think we did start off with sheep, because, yeah, cattle, it takes a while to work up getting the TMR. But we were cattle and sheep on Law Folds. Pigs was a very late thing, just as a case of, oh, there's 3 months before Farm Sim 19 comes out, and I don't have the pig breeding achievement done, so best I get on that. Funny thing is I still haven't completed the cow or the pig breeding programs on Farm Sim 19. I think I did all the rest of them. Oh, yeah, for those of you that are interested in getting achievements, there is an achievement for painting your vehicle in Farm Sim 22. I would strongly suggest you do something like a $2,000 plough and just repaint it, because that's going to be relatively cheap. Oh, don't fall out, please. Oh yeah. 90 horsepower, 6 greenhouses, chicken coop and honey. And that, yeah, and that is partly something one of the reasons why we're not doing any other animals on this farm. Sheep is the thing, and because of the support that this map gives to sheep, that you can have 3 fields, 500 each of sheep. That just became our... you know what? We've got grass in our shed over there. Am I doing this at the right time? Yes. We got about 300 litres of grass in here, so now we've got about 500 litres. Yay. But yes, the amount of work you have to do can get really overwhelming really quickly. So it kind of pays to specialise. And like I said, we're doing mostly sheep in this playthrough, and sheep are taking a horrible amount of time to keep fed because we've got so many of them. I think we've probably got more than Giants intended for anybody to ever have. So it's partly my own fault, but yeah, if I were to add cows or pigs to it, it would just be, please just shoot me now.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to mute the microphone for a minute. Okay, we are back. Sounded like a phone call to Mrs. Osa from the hospital. So, all that blah, 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 words. But, yes, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I think, you know, even back in this version of Farm Sim, specialising is definitely a thing to do. Yeah, you would probably benefit from running multiple cow barns and no sheep and pigs than running one of each, because one of each is spreading out your what do you call it? Your attention, if you like. You know, I have 3 fields of sheep, so I just know that I'm growing clover hay, clover silage, sugar beets, and they're auto filling with grass because that's how seasons works. I'll stick this in this gap here. And then we'll back off. Yeah, so like I said, using this down at the BGA would probably be an advantage because it's it's an auto load stabby device. But, I'm okay using the JCB for that. I'm pretty sure you can. I think the limits for animal pens is about 12, including the dog. The limit for production facilities, I'm not sure. Maybe about 20 or so. But people have already come out with increase the number of animal facilities you can have by an ungodly number. And oh look, it stopped raining. It's 5:30. And I'll slow down time. We'll grab this undersized bale of straw and wave a chainsaw at it. So we lost 400 litres. Yeah, I mean, you don't. There's not an exponential increase with doing multiple of the same thing. I just think that it's the amount of time and effort you have to put in doing everything else in order to get things done. So, like I was saying, if you're... yeah, I did slow it down to 1, didn't I? The engine. It's empty. Good. So, to keep your greenhouses going, you have to get water. So if you have one big water tank and you can go and get 1 tank of water and fill up all spend 10 minutes filling up the greenhouses with water, and then that's good for 3 or 4 days. Grow a field of barley and have 3 or 4 chicken houses. Your arable crops are going to be barley and other arable crops that you're just going to sell, but all your barley is then reserved for feeding all of your chickens. You don't have to worry about, oh, I need barley for the chickens, I need barley for the pigs, I also need, so now I have to have another crop of corn to feed the pigs. I then need a protein to feed the pigs, and so you're spreading out your concentration. It's one of the reasons why I think Lawfolds worked fairly well in 17 for me with sheep and cows, because I just did all the grass. So I had 2 big grass fields that we did hay during the summer. That hay was enough to feed the sheep and the pigs for the sheep and the cattle for the entire year, and then it was producing silage, or both of them produced silage for the other cut in the year, or other 2 cuts in the year, when it was more likely to rain or whatever. And 1 yield of silage was good enough to feed the cows TMR, and all of the rest went to the BGA. So, it was sort of efficiency of time, and then all of my arable crops were just for straight sale. And that kind of, I think that setup kind of worked for me. It didn't overstress what I was having to do. Once I got into pigs, there was a whole bunch of other stuff I needed to take care of. Plus in 17 and 19, the trough size for feed was based on the number of animals you had, and you basically had to feed your animals every 36 hours. So that was a chore as well. Now obviously in Farm Sim 22 it's less of a chore, because a pig barn takes X amount of food, whether it has 1 pig in it or 50 pigs in it. So all you have to do is keep the food topped up, and it doesn't run out in 1 day. So it's not quite so much of a chore as Seasons in 19 is. Anyway, what is the time? Oh, we are at 11:15, so we'll go for a little bit longer. I think these forks are big enough for 4. Careful. Back off and swing it away from the pile on the left. So yeah, and that weight is sufficient. As far as weights are concerned, I've found about 1,000 pound weight generally works for almost everything. So if you're running a if you're running an attached seeder, so something like this, something that doesn't sit on the ground. Obviously this is balanced by that, but there's a whole bunch of stuff you can just hitch on the back of your your tractor, £1,000 on the front tends to work out quite nicely. So tractors like this one can be a bit of a challenge because you've got standard, you've got 500. You've got a maximum of 500 kilos on the front, and this isn't enough. You need, I guess they run in kilos. I tend to look at, 1,000. So 1,000 kilos, sorry. So 500 pounds, 2,000 pounds. 2.2 pounds per kilo. So yeah, 2,000 pounds. So this sort of size is a good size for a counterbalance. This probably too heavy for most tractors. These just don't balance stuff out enough. I tend to find that I'm frequently front wheels in the air because something on the back is just that little bit too heavy. And here we have variable weight, so I can take it into the workshop and add plates or remove plates to tailor it, but I don't think I have ever changed the weights on this these mounts. They're about 1050. So yeah, 65,000 litres of feed, 45 weight. Yes. Now I was thinking, because check out Virtual Farmer. He did a how to modify a production facility to produce your own thing. Someone had produced what they said was a TMR production facility. The problem is it produced forage, not TMR. And we need to speed that up a little. And so he went and took that mod and did a personal edit. Don't release it back onto a mod site if you're just editing the thing, because you haven't created any part of the mod. All you've done is change what it does. But he edited it so that rather than taking, I think the mod as provided took 2,000 litres of grass, 2,000 litres of silage and 2,000 litres of hay, and made forage, which the cows won't eat. So basically a useless production. He changed it to make to use 2,000 litres of silage, 1,000 litres of hay, and 500 litres of straw to make 3,500 litres of TMR. And that he could feed to his cows. So, just you can edit stuff. You could make an edit on that to produce pig food, but it would have to be very specific. So you would take 2,000 litres of corn, 1,000 litres of barley, 1,000 litres of canola, and 250 litres of the root crop, say sugar beets, to produce pig food. So it's not going to be pick one of, but it's going to, if you say I need these specific four, you could then say I'm just going to grow those specific four. I'm going to make pig food, because the pig food is going to fill up my barn and take care of the requirements for the pigs. So it's possible to do it. The problem with pig food is because it's corn and wheat or barley or sorghum and canola, soybeans, and you can use varying amounts of each, and you don't have to use all the same thing. Making a production facility for it is probably going to be a little bit more tricky. You can have multiple recipes, in order to create your final output. But the problem is the permutations are 3 times 3 times 2. Or no, 2 times 6, 7, 8. So 2 times 6, 2 6s are 12, 2 12s 24. You would need 24 recipes to produce pig food. And that's quite a lot. So, yes, obviously can't do that on Xbox. However, you could, if you make a building that's your own building, your production building, and then submit it to Giants with a pig food recipe, you could make your own, get your own pig food thing on Xbox just by providing the mod. Yeah, that was the thing, because also I think the potato sorter resulted in generic pig food. I did try using the potato sorter in FS19, and it's just, the capacity of it is so small, it's just annoying. I mean, even Daggerwin's solution of dumping potatoes on the floor and having a belt system feed the sorter, that's also a pain. But, yeah. How are we doing? Crops are still wet, so we can't get back to harvesting yet. I mean, potentially today we could possibly have the crop dry out. I'm just going to feed all of this silage into the silage digester, not the silage, the digester, while I can, because this is a long drawn out process at the point we're at. Let's kick up time to times 60, is that? Ooh. Get it below 38. Okay, and then we'll drop another stack in. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of things, but they were very simple. Like you said, there's corn to pig food. I think there was a CCM mill that would convert CCM, which is basically you harvest corn, but then one of the mills was just a straight auger wagon that, if you put corn in it, would increase the yield and call it CCM, which you then had to put through a silage bunker for a day. But it produced CCM, and CCM could be used as a food replacement for pig food sometimes. The barns are not forage wagon friendly because of the roof overhangs. Oh, that's good to know. I suppose while we're doing this and waiting, I could check on how the sheeps are doing. I'm going to have to take a bunch of boxes of sugar beets out to each of the fields. Probably do 2 to each. As usual, most of them need a top up of clover silage. That one, take a 4. That one, may not. So worst comes to the worst, it looks like we may be running out to the fields with a the Land Rover and some sugar beets to top up on field storage. Not that I should do that, because the sheep would probably just eat straight out of the boxes and straight off the bales. But they don't, so yay. 42. Speed up time. There we go. I'll drop that back to ×5. Drop those in there. That one will disappear shortly. Disappear already. And then we'll jump back to the yard and take care of sheep food, I think. Oh, right, yes. What am I doing? I am doing that one there. Lie down, doggy. And sometimes I might use them. Well, you know what? We could use that. Okay, let's use that. One, two. There's a silage bale on there, which also a good thing. 3, 4. No, 3. That's 4. Okay, one more on the back and one on the front. And it looks like my estimation for sugar beets is very tight this year. All things considered. Why aren't you? There you go. And we'll get another one on the front. And I'm going to put another hay bale on the front on this as well. So that will give us one for each field, which I'm pretty sure we need. There now, that's all nice and safely stacked. Health and safety will be impressed with my stacking abilities. Yeah, I'm guessing that small sort of micro baler thing is probably not the greatest for console players. Unfortunately, because we've got bales on the back, we're going to have to drive through the gates. We'll top up the water anyway.